not racist. It's Star Wars, folks.
Star Wars, hey.
If you love that sequence with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul, you are going to love this show.
Speaking of Force Fingers,
there's a 1v1 we need to talk about. Kevin McAllister versus Anakin Skywalker.
We go into these freaking Scruffy Nerf Herder podcasts, and half the time I'm like, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
10 episodes. Joining me tonight is Pumpkin Vader. Hello, Pumpkin Vader.
'Tis the season, my dude.
'Tis the season. And you got the adorable Yoda Witch.
You like him?
I do. I'm very envious.
I'm so excited that I have him because not only is he going to work perfectly for Halloween with his little witch hat, which I don't know why they gave him a witch hat. Like, Halloween. It's funny, but
what else would you give him for Halloween?
That's what I was trying to think. Like, I have no idea.
Devil horns?
Ooh. That'd be contradictory, though. Yoda with devil horns, I feel like. But at Christmas time, he gets a little Santa hat.
It's adorable.
Yeah, and then any other time, I'll just take off the hats, and then he's just Yoda. He moves and he talks, too. I'll have to show you that sometime. Sick.
Man. I'm just imagining that. I'm imagining that in my house, man.
Watch. I'll show you right now. We'll show the people. You ready? It's incredible.
Let's do it.
It's incredible. Here we go. Hold on.
For the audio listeners at home, Robby is sticking his hand up Yoda's dress. Ooh. And Yoda is moving. I'm most impressed by how they captured his eyes.
Look at how well his whole face moves, though.
Yeah. They captured his eyes really well.
His little ears.
Although I will say, after seeing him, I could take him in a fight.
So he starts flipping around.
Nope, I could take him.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. I grab those two ears and just knee him.
Bro, he wouldn't even let you get that close. Are you kidding me? You try to grab him, he would just force stop you. 2 fingers. He'd be like this.
And then I'd be dead.
Speaking of force fingers, did you hear what's going on auction?
Go on.
Has nothing to do with force fingers, but trying to find a segue for it.
There goes our PG rating.
So I saw here that Star Wars fans, meaning you, Bryant. Okay, this is for you. You have the opportunity to bid on a C-3PO head that was used in the movies.
I feel like you're saying this is for me.
It is.
And I don't make that much money.
Dude, you have the option of maybe his foot, because apparently his feet and hands are going on auction as well.
What if they put the auction for his leg up and it's not red and it's not silver?
Silver?
It's like a gold leg.
Dang. I don't know. I just saw that they have
How much is the head going for?
1.2 million is what they're assuming that it's going to fetch.
No.
What if it's only like $200? It's an auction.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on TanoCast a little bit of collectibles, right?
Yeah.
C-3PO never makes that list. I would never. C-3PO is not something I would want to own.
You'd turn him off, wouldn't you?
He wouldn't even be in the room. That's probably, dare I say, my least favorite Star Wars character in the entire Star Wars universe.
Okay.
But I mean, would you buy it for $200? I mean, that's a silly
C-3PO's
question.
head? Hell yeah.
Is it the screen used C-3PO head?
So it says here that essentially it's the head, and basically it comes with complete light up eyes, and it comes from the personal collection of C-3PO himself, Anthony Daniels, who played C-3PO in the Star Wars movies. So
can I put it on my head?
Ooh, probably. I'm assuming. But it said that he has other pieces that will go to the right hands, he says. Is the feet and the hands as well. So there's
interesting.
We'll see, but I mean the auction as a whole is expected to go for like 14.6 million, it says. There's a bunch of other movie memorabilia as well.
Okay.
We have, it looks like, the Don Vito Corleone's coat from The Godfather. Worn by Marlon Brando. It's expected to fetch $61,000. So C-3PO's head's apparently more expensive than that. Nightmare on Elm Street. We have here a glove worn by Freddy Krueger, which is expected to sell for $486,000. Still not 1.2 million. Okay. We have some Blade Runner memorabilia. We have Indiana Jones bullwhip. Expected to fetch $243,000. Nothing close to the C-3PO head.
Yeah, I mean, when you list that, C-3PO is definitely like the more iconic of the accessories, right?
You think
Especially
so?
if it's screen used. I mean, definitely.
That's what it says. It says all of this is all screen used. So
yeah, like a bullwhip, I don't feel like would be a conversation piece. Like, but if you got C-3PO's head, it's like, oh, that's.
Well, yeah, so I don't think that's more so a conversation piece. I think it's more so believability. Like, if you saw somebody with like a whip and you're like, hey, that was used on the set Indiana Jones, you'd be like, sure, you just got that from some cowboy. Yeah. But if you got like C-3PO's head and you like put it on, it's like, I am C-3PO, human cyborg relation. You'd be like, oh my God. Incredible.
Here's the issue I have with all this, right? Is that like, we were at a Comic-Con a while back and I was talking with this group called the Droid Builders, and all of them had built their own R2 units. And I asked the guy like how much it would cost to build my own R2 unit, and he said at least bare minimum $25,000 to build my own R2 unit.
Like a fully functioning R2
fully
unit?
Functioning, moving, full replica size, like life size R2.
Wow. Okay.
For 1.2 million, I could build an army of R2D2s. And it makes me think I could maybe build my own C-3PO for 15,000.
It's definitely something where it's like it's a collector's piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a collector's item. It's something where somebody somewhere is like C-3PO's his, Ahsoka
What does
Tano
the
for you,
does it say what the money's going to go towards?
Let's see what it says here.
My back pocket, says George Lucas.
Just says movie memorabilia auction.
So it's not even like maybe a charity.
And it's 1,800 pieces of movie and TV memorabilia that will be available for auction, held by Prop Store in London and online between November 9th and November 12th. So held by Prop Store. Not sure, but it also says there's things in there like James Bond's tuxedo worn by Daniel Craig.
That's dope.
Leonardo DiCaprio's costume from Titanic. Michael Keaton's Batman battle damage suit.
Is obviously we're a Star Wars podcast, but I would buy that before C-3PO's head.
What if it was
here's
like
the
Vader's
kicker.
suit?
But here's the kicker. It's probably his Batman suit from The Flash. It's not even like the original Batman suit.
It says Well, yeah, maybe. It says Batman like the original Batman. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if it was Vader's suit, it would have to be more. I would think Vader would at least catch 1.5 million up there as well. But like the fact that it's just his head is the weird part. Like it must be the head that like Chewie carries around on his back when like all the pieces are like blown apart. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not that iconic of a character, Like for me, that's not the character that I'm like, oh, 100% I would buy that. Like screen used BB-8. Yeah, I could see like 1.2. Screen used R2. Yeah, I could see 1.2. C-3PO's head, maybe 200. Like closer to what we're seeing with those other props. I just don't see 1.2. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see in that time frame. We'll have to revisit that and see what it actually sold for.
Now, we talked about it on TanoCast, obviously, about like the props we would buy. Is there anything in the Star Wars universe that if you had 1.2 to drop, you would drop it on that? Like you feel like that's worth it?
I would have to have a ridiculous amount of money to be dropping 1.2 million.
Let me rephrase that. Like, is there anything that you look at the Star Wars universe and you're like, that's worth 1.2?
For me, you're talking to somebody that doesn't have 1.2 to spare. Like 1.2 to me is like, if I had 1.2 somehow right now or could come up with it and they were selling like Darth Vader's TIE fighter, I'd buy that. Like real size, put it in my backyard. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe somebody's like, yo, I could get Luke's chopped off hand. 1.2. Give it to me. Force fingers.
Well, and see, like, here's the weirdest part about this, right? Is that, like, you and I, you know this about me. I'm a huge King Kong fan. I absolutely adore King Kong.
Mhm.
The original movie was a claymation, so they had the metal armature of Kong that they put clay and fur around. I just looked it up. The original Kong armature went for $200,000 at an auction, and I'm
Wow.
like, I'd 100% buy that armature before I bought the C-3PO. And like, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so like, I don't know. I
But Kong's the main character in Kong. You know what I mean?
true.
C-3PO is like a side character. Like
Yeah.
now, if you were saying like something,
But as far as like cinematic achievements, I put Kong and Star Wars in the same boats that like when Kong was in theaters, people were watching it and they were like, "What is this, dude? Like this is like King Kong was a horror movie when it came out. Like people were terrified by it. Now we look back at it
yeah,
and we laugh. Whereas like Star Wars accomplished kind of a similar concept in the sense of like they were doing things in that movie that had never been seen before. So I can understand
that's true.
C-3PO's head. Like if someone was like, "Oh, the original model for the Millennium Falcon's going for 1.2," I'd be like, "Okay, I get that. Yeah, that's the model they used while filming. Makes sense." C-3PO's head? I don't know.
It's a
Somewhere
good amount
there's
of
like a
screen time.
massive like C-3PO fan who's like, "You guys."
That's a bargain.
Yeah.
I will be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, like even my my Carbonite. I wouldn't spend 1.2 million on a Carbonite of
On
Han
Han
Solo.
Solo Carbonite.
No,
What if it
not
was actually Harrison Ford inside Carbonite? You got to keep him too.
like the actor is inside of the Carbonite.
Yeah. And he just had to say Star Wars lines whenever you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would he'd get pissed off very quickly with that arrangement.
Let me stab you in the stomach, Han. Get over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean it's cool. Mazel tov to the guy who's selling it. I hope you get the money you're looking for, but even as a big Star Wars fan, no.
That's what I'm saying. Let's revisit it. Let's see if it actually sells for 1.2.
Yeah, watch.
What if it only
We're all
sells?
writing it off and it's like a $200 like you said.
That's what I'm saying.
We're all going to be like, "Wow,
The starting bid's like 100,000 and nobody just goes for it."
Yeah. I saw something this week and I was curious if you saw it as well. Did you know that there are Attack of the Clones deleted scenes where we get to see Anakin and Padme on Naboo more than the romantic scenes we see? We get to see Padme bring Anakin back to her home to meet her mom and dad.
What?
Yep, I found it this week. So
Is there actually like video?
here we go.
What? Hold on. What?
This is my house. Brew! Who's that?
Just pointing out, they're not running up to C-3PO like that. They're running up to R2 like that.
R2 will fetch
Also,
1.2.
Padme, you're a senator. What you wearing here, girl?
I'm worried.
I like it.
Anakin, this is my sister, Sola.
Meeting the folks, bro.
Hello, Anakin.
Hello.
And this is my mother.
Hello.
How have we never seen this?
I hope you're hungry, Anakin.
A little.
He's being polite, Mom. We're starving.
Well, you've come to the right place at the right time.
Honey, it's so good to see you safe. We were so worried.
Dear,
I know. But I had to say it. Now it's done.
Did you know, Anakin, you're the first boyfriend my sister's ever brought home?
He's not my boyfriend.
Ooh,
Anakin's a friend. We've known
friend
each
zone.
other for years.
That's the start of the villain arc right there.
He's a Jedi sent to me by the Senate to protect me.
that moment,
A bodyguard.
Vader was born.
Oh, Padme. They didn't tell us it was that serious.
It's not, I promise. I'm not in any danger, Mom.
is she?
Yeah.
He doesn't even hesitate. Yes, she's
I'm afraid
lying.
She is.
Yeah, your daughter's a filthy liar.
She's wearing not enough clothing.
Sometimes
And then we
wish
get
that,
this really weird
I'd
scene
traveled more,
of
but, I
Padme's
must
dad
say,
and
I'm
Anakin
very
walking through the
happy.
garden.
Padme tells me you teach at the university.
Yeah. Before that, I was a builder. I also worked for a freedom relief movement, but I
It
was
seems so
very
out of place.
But like,
Why haven't you told us about him?
I can't believe
What's
this
there to
is real,
talk
though.
about?
That's the thing.
He's just a boy.
Seems
A
weird.
boy?
With all
Have you seen
of
the way he
the
looks at you?
DVDs
Sola,
and
stop
all of like the
It's obvious
collector's
he has
editions, I've
feelings
never
for
seen
you.
this before.
Anakin and I are friends. Our relationship is strictly professional.
Uh-oh.
You lied, girl.
Ew. You were 16 and he was 8.
So tell me, son, how serious
So
is this thing?
I'm gonna fast forward real quick.
Never had a
We get
place
to this
of my
scene
own.
How long is
where
it?
they're in
Official
Padme's
resident,
room
I feel good here. I feel at home.
and she's unpacking.
Never
Damn, look at
really
the photo
had a
frames.
Yeah, they're all holographic
home. Home was
like
always where my
videos.
mom
Harry Potter.
was.
But like, that's a fantastic thing you're pointing out right here. Is that like normally deleted
you?
scenes like usually have like green screens in the background because
That's when I
they
walked
haven't.
in.
Fully produced.
Yeah, 100%.
Your son
So like,
was imploding.
there was a
I was
reality where
dying.
we almost could have got
Was
this.
helping me locate all the children. See that little one?
But anyway,
hold?
I blown
It's
away
not
that is a
cute.
real thing, man.
I mean,
Like,
that's my girl right there. So I'd be down to see those scenes. But you know what's crazy is the beginning of that scene where it showed the little girls running down the stairs and it cut to Anakin standing next to R2. I literally got like deja vu because I'm pretty sure that real quick scene of him just smiling was standing next to R2. I think that was in like a trailer.
Hmm.
I think that was in the
Interesting.
Attack of the Clones trailer where it just showed him real quick, like looking up and smiling. I'm pretty sure that was in the trailer because I saw that and I was like, I've seen that before. And I've
Yeah.
never seen that scene whatsoever.
Yeah, and like that scene makes Clones look like such a like teen romantic like comedy, and like
yeah,
it just changes that movie completely. And I'm like,
yeah,
man.
it, definitely a good reason it's not in the film.
Yeah, but like, what else is there? Like, that's the
Yeah.
side of it. I'm like, hey, like, open up the vault, Disney. Let's go, man.
I've seen some bloopers that make me laugh. Like there's one where it shows like them walking up and it's like Obi-Wan and Anakin, and obviously they have like the sticks that are supposed to represent their lightsabers.
Mhm.
And Obi-Wan like throws it around and like hits Anakin, and he's like, ah, and he just like falls to the ground. And it made me laugh so hard because I was like, that'd be so great. Like accidental lightsaber slip. Like, oh, sorry, my bad.
Have you seen that someone took that blooper and then they put like the lightsaber effect into it, so it
Oh,
looks like he's
really?
actually getting hit with the lightsaber.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
I want to see somewhere where there was a clumsy Jedi. Jar Jar is a Jedi.
Yeah.
So one thing I do have to ask you, okay? We've discussed this before. Jar Jar is your homeboy, right?
Mhm.
You love Jar Jar.
I do.
I have a disgruntled fan that wants to know and wants to understand why Jar Jar is your favorite.
I wouldn't say he's my favorite.
I'm pretty sure you said he's your favorite.
I mean, I like the character. I don't think he's my favorite. I've always said
Okay.
Ahsoka's my favorite.
Okay.
My
Might be
top
fair.
have always been like Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. They're like my two favorites. But like Jar Jar's dope, man. Like I think he's a good character. I think that like he's not going to give you the character arc that like, oh, he's the hero, but like I don't know, he's just I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I can point out to be like, this is why I love him. I just
This is why.
my
Makes
my
sense.
appreciation for Jar Jar compared to everyone else's hate for Jar Jar maybe makes it seem like he's my favorite. I don't know. I've never really thought about that. I've just always liked him.
See, there's a certain character in the Star Wars universe that I really love. Like, really, really love. And I don't know why, but it makes me laugh so hard. And that's
Okay.
Babu Frick.
Okay, yeah.
And I do not know what about him that makes me laugh so hard anytime I see it. Or even just the interaction with C-3PO and him in the newer movies where he's like, Babu Frick, that's my oldest friend.
So similar to the Jar Jar shirtless poster you got me for Christmas last year. You want me to get you a Babu Frick shirtless poster this year? Is that what you're asking for?
Let me tell you, okay? This disgruntled fan is my father, okay?
Yeah.
And he cannot stand Jar Jar. Like, and he was helping me out with some Halloween decorations this weekend. And like, he literally was just sitting there, and literally out of the blue, he was like, I don't understand why Bryant loves Jar Jar. I'm like, man, this is really on your mind, huh? And he's like, I just don't get it. And so then I was sitting there thinking, and I'm like, I love Babu Frick, man. Like, and if somebody were to ask me, why do you love Babu Frick? I don't know. He's goofy. Like, he's a great character. Hey, like he just is. He makes me smile. He makes me laugh. Like, I freaking love him.
Yeah.
But my dad, he was terrified because I used my mom's Amazon account. And when I bought that, I bought it on Amazon for you. And my dad was terrified that it was for him. And because he saw it and he was like, oh no. He's like, he better not be getting me this.
Yeah, I mean, like, now that I'm thinking about it, right? Like, I think my appreciation for Jar Jar is more about like Gungans in general. Like, I always thought Gungans were like such a cool concept, that it was like
Intriguing.
these creatures that lived underwater that we never got to see before. They were warriors. Like, they completely had tanks. They had all that type of stuff. And we got to see them fight these droids. And like, we just get it written off. Like, we never see them again in the Star Wars universe. And like, even when Battlefront was out, not the original one, but like when they brought it out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox, like, I was like, just put a Gungan skin in the game. Like, that would be so sick to be able to play those battles as a Gungan. And it's just, I feel like it's again like an underappreciated arc in Star Wars, and I'm like, the amount of hate that they get is not warranted at all. Like, that's
I loved Jar Jar Binks, especially, like I said, to me it's just like how people our age kind of gripe about the newer movies now, including me. Like, I definitely have gripes about them. That's how I think it was for my dad with those prequels coming out. Like, Star Wars to him was something completely different, and then you have this weird goofy character. Whereas I'm a kid, I think I was like, when did Phantom Menace come out? Was it like 97, 99? Something like that.
Misa no do.
I want to say it was 97, but I was a kid. I was like 9, 10, something like that. And so I obviously already watched the original trilogy, loved Star Wars. But then when that came out, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And Jar Jar was part of that. I was like, this guy's hilarious. And I didn't understand, even, when I was younger, my dad just had this hate for him. And I'm like, why? How can you hate him? He's so funny. Like, he's so goofy. And it wasn't until like I was older and watching it, I was like, I could see how people think he's annoying. Like,
oh yeah, even my wife, who never saw it until a couple years ago, I made her watch it, and she's like, "This character is the worst." And I was like, "Is he though? Is he though?"
I think it's just like they do what they can to kind of bring in an audience from wherever. I mean, there's so many different people that love Star Wars for their own reasons, and I think that's great.
Yeah. I think also a lot of the hate that Jar Jar gets is because that movie was so bad. But like, there were so many other issues with it. Like, the pacing in that movie is atrocious. Like, they try to accomplish way too much in that movie. Like, you go from the Naboo invasion to the Tatooine story arc to Coruscant to back to Naboo, then into space. Like, they just try to do way too much into that movie. And I feel like if everything else was in that movie was good, I don't think Jar Jar would get as much hate as he gets, because I feel like Jar Jar is just a victim of people like, F that movie. Like, F that, F this, F that. And it's just like, I don't think it's warranted. Like, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So for me, I've always loved Phantom Menace. I really have. And like I said, it's mainly because as a kid growing up and being so used to New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and then seeing arguably one of the coolest lightsaber fight scenes, like being so different than what you saw in the original trilogy with Darth Maul having a freaking dual saber, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, especially like as a kid, I was watching this and I was like, this is freaking incredible. And just the expansion of everything, it was like everything was so different, and was cool to me to see. But I could understand how fans of Star Wars could be like, this is too different, this is weird. Like, well,
and I also think, like, you got to keep in mind, right, like, Phantom Menace was also one of the first movies to really introduce that CGI technology. So it's like, it's always that first one through the door gets beat up the artist. And it's like, for a lot of people, it's like, no, I want my traditional effects. Like, bring back the puppets, bring back the...
So give me the best thing that came out of Phantom Menace for you then.
Duel of the Fates.
The song?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. See, you just threw a wrench in mine. Like, that song. Oh, So freaking good.
Dude.
Oh man. Okay. Now that's tough, man. But okay. I'm gonna give top 3. Okay.
Okay.
Duel of Fates.
Okay.
Darth Maul.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go Droidicas.
Ooh.
I
yeah.
freaking love Droidicas. Like as
Yeah.
soon as I saw them, I was like, these things are so freaking sick. Like the battle droids are okay, but freaking the things that just roll up and just with the freaking force shields around them. I'm like, holy cow! How do you deal with this? Like,
it's also just so funny because like that movie begins with like arguably today might be the most racist thing in Star Wars history that
what
they
do you
pull
mean?
in, and there's like
What?
the Trade Federation, and it's just like these guys with very thick Asian accents who go, "Oh, they sent the Jedi." They're getting to the door.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Would not happen in today's world.
Huh.
You said the Jedi would not be here.
Ow, I literally never once until this very moment even like caught on that was even the dialect that they were trying to
Very,
be.
yeah. Go back and watch it, and it's just like, ooh.
You just ruined it for me. I'm not gonna be able to like
Luckily, it wasn't anywhere near your top 3, but like,
no.
yeah, no. So here would be my top 3. Okay, Duel of Fates, number 1. The pod racing is number 2.
Ooh, that was great too. See, how can you say that movie's bad? Okay, keep going.
And then okay, it's a scene. The scene is where Obi-Wan is standing in like the red walls keep popping up, and Maul is so impatient and he's like pacing back and forth, and Obi-Wan's just meditating. That scene, probably my favorite scene of that entire movie. Like it's just such a great like cinematic thing that like shows the impatience
it was
of the
Qui-Gon.
Sith.
Qui-Gon meditated.
Was that Qui-Gon? Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah, so it shows the impatience of the Sith and like the calm and collectiveness of the Jedi, and I'm like, yeah. Like, other than that, man, it was 3 movies put into one, and the pacing was bad, and they just tried to do a lot like Ahsoka, episode 8.
Don't get me started.
Bring it full. You know, I meant to bring this up when we talked about Ahsoka. So it's ironic that Ahsoka ended on October 3rd, because October 3rd is also the date that episode 1 of Clone Wars, the animated series, aired on TV.
Really?
Yeah.
It's also my wedding anniversary today.
Ooh, congratulations. Or as the Trade Federation say, oh, congratulations!
Congratulations.
It's not racist, it's Star Wars,
That's
folks.
Star Wars. Hey. Yeah.
That's going to be my line now. Anytime I do that accent, I'm not doing an Asian accent. It's the Trade Federation. Look it up, nerds.
Oh no.
He's a Jedi.
Oh no. You do it so well too. That's what's scary about it is you.
Dude, there's like
practice
one
this.
line I cannot remember, like, but it's just it's so
Is
weird.
That legal?
Yeah. 100%. Like it's yeah. So Phantom Menace. We'll have to watch that back together sometime.
Yeah. I like it. I always love the prequels. I know they get some hate sometimes, but I've always enjoyed them.
Where do you rank the prequels? Have we ever talked about that?
Yeah, I think we have. I would say, Revenge of the Sith is really great to me, so that has to be number 1 for me. Between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, huh? Ooh, that's tough. Because with Phantom, you get Darth Maul, but with Attack of the Clones, you get like Jango Fett, and you get all these freaking Jedi fighting. I'm gonna say Attack of the Clones because you get all these Jedi fighting, and you get Yoda.
Okay.
Going ham. So my 1, 2, 3 is 3, 2, 1.
Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Although, as I've gotten older, I've begun to appreciate Revenge a whole lot more than I did when I was a kid. And then it would probably be Phantom Menace. Yeah, I'm looking at the opening scroll for Phantom Menace,
Okay.
Doesn't help the fact that this is racist. So it goes, turmoil has engulfed in the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Hoping to resolve this matter with the blockade of deadly battleships, the greedy Trade Federation has stopped all ship.
Hey,
Darth
we're
Sidious
greedy.
answers, "What is it? This scheme of yours has failed, Lord Sidious. The blockade is finished. We dare not go against these Jedis."
You do that really well.
Yeah. Yeah, and then your point, the next line is that legal?
Is that illegal? Oh, man.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh, Star Wars.
Star Wars brings us all together. Again, not racist Star Wars.
It's not racist, it's Star Wars.
I'm curious, did you get to see the new Acolyte trailer that leaked out this week?
No. What?
Yeah, so the Acolyte trailer leaked
You don't
out.
seem excited.
No, here's the thing. I'm pissed because I found out about it the day after, and I still
Okay.
can't find it. I've been trying to find this trailer
Really?
for the last week and a half.
How did you not find it?
Disney's been taking it down.
Oh, because you said it leaked. Ah.
So there's a lot of mixed reactions. So if you read like the Star Wars bros of the internet, they're
Okay.
like, this is diversification and woke culture. And I'm just like, you guys say that about
Okay.
everything Star Wars does these days. So it's like, okay. But a lot of people were like, this looks cool. And what the trailer gave us was a synopsis. So a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Acolyte. No idea what it's about, but I finally have some stuff. So Acolyte is set 100 years before the events of Episode 1. So
Okay.
we're going to be getting that. The Acolyte will be a Sith-led series revolving around a
Ooh.
former Padawan and her Jedi Master. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into the galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces that confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. When interviewed, someone said, "If you love that sequence with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul, you are going to love this show." The Acolyte premieres on Disney Plus in 2024.
Okay, first off, that's
Just full on boner, just right now.
It's not sexual. It's Star Wars.
There's a reason we wear sweatpants to podcast tapings these days. It's like that little Kermit video you see on TikTok all the time.
It's pretty accurate too. So we're going to talk about this. Okay, you were going to compare this show, saying that if you liked one of the greatest scenes in Star Wars, then you'll like the show. Like, really?
That's a pretty high bar.
That's you are setting a very high bar.
That's not what I said. That's the quote that the Disney representative said.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They are setting a high bar, saying that.
I'm in though.
Just any moment. Did you like it when Luke blew up the Death Star? Then you're gonna love this.
Did you like it when that moment when Chewie came out and he was like, "You're gonna
Did you
love
like
the show.
it when
We got a
Anakin
show for
slayed
you."
younglings? You're gonna
It
be
always
so
comes back.
excited.
You're 100% right, because it's what I make fun of VeggieTales about all the time. That the intro to VeggieTales is like, if you like tomatoes and if you like squash can make you smile, then my God, we have a show for you.
VeggieTales.
Yeah,
VeggieTales.
if you like Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul and Obi-Wan, we got a show for you. 99% of Star Wars fans are like, okay.
Oh man.
If you liked
Larry the
Princess
Cucumber.
Leia in a slave outfit, you're going to like this show.
By God, we got a show for you.
If you
If you
think
like
lightsabers are cool, yeah.
If you like Hera in some tight pants,
Yep.
my God, we got a show for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
a very
We'll see.
interesting way to pitch that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you like the sequence of this, and this, you're gonna love Star Wars. Well,
Mhm.
I would hope so.
If you think Ewoks are cute and cuddly, we got a show for you, buddy.
if you think Jar Jar is annoying, or even if you don't, we got a show for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're killing this bit. We need to stop.
No, one more. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, good. Oh well, let's. I want to get into my 1v1s here, man.
Yeah,
Okay?
please do. I'm
gonna
liking
share the
these.
wheel. I'm gonna share the wheel with you because
Ooh.
last time there was somebody out there, and I'm looking at you, Skater Boy 609. You told me that I was making these 1v1s up. That I was making this wheel up. Okay, I did not make that wheel up. Okay, this was legit, and I'm gonna share it with you right now, Skater Boy 609.
Did he say "see you later, boy"?
I don't
He
know.
wasn't good enough for her.
I'm making that up.
And now
I just wanted to see if people would go and like check the comments. And
I literally was opening up the comments and I was like, how did I miss that?
how did I miss that one?
Yeah, I was like,
All right, let's make sure we can see this full wheel here. We'll go this. Is this a good size?
that's good.
All right.
Wheel of
We're gonna do
Fortune.
2?
Sure,
3?
let's do 2. Let's keep 2.
2. Let's do 2.
All right.
All right. First one up. We have BB-8. Okay. BB-8
Okay.
versus BB-8 versus Chewbacca?
Ooh.
Bro. Ooh. I'm going Chewie.
You got it, right?
Like he would take him and just you would just play soccer with him or something.
But then BB-8's got the lighter.
He does.
He could like light the fur. No, we still have to go
What if Chewie uses hairspray? Yeah, then just
Yeah. Yeah, Chewie would win 100%.
I don't know though, because think about Chewie was straight up like cooking up a pork, and then he had a heart. Like, do you think he'd be able to just destroy BB-8?
Oh yeah. He
I
was
mean, it's
going to rip
1v1.
C-3PO's head or arms off when he beat him in chess.
I'm going Chewie.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
going
if you go
Chewie as
BB-8,
well.
you're silly.
Yep.
All right. That was the first one. Easy one. That was an easy one. Let's go to the next one. See if it's any better.
What do we got?
We have General Grievous.
Okay.
Okay. General Kenobi versus Din Djarin. Ooh.
This might be best one yet.
Oh,
Best one yet.
This is. See, I feel like it's obvious, but I also feel like I don't
Is
want
it,
it
though?
to be.
Is
I think
it
so.
though?
Because Din Djarin got smacked around by some random thing in the last season, like, and lost the Darksaber, and like had to be
True.
saved by Bo-Katan. Like, I feel like General Grievous would probably. I mean, you're saying like Obi-Wan had a bit of trouble with him. You think Din Djarin would beat Obi-Wan?
What defeated What defeated General Grievous?
A blaster? Ooh.
What if
Man,
the Jedi were
this
just
is
going about this
tough.
the wrong way?
That's true. I didn't think about that. General Grievous pulls out 4 lightsabers, and Din Djarin's just.
No, I'm gonna go Grievous.
He
I'm
has
gonna-
his little
I'm gonna
missiles
take
too. The
Grievous
little
on this one.
what are those called? Those whistling birds.
Yeah, I'm taking Grievous.
I don't know. You got me.
I feel like
questioning that
Grievous
one
has
with a blaster.
outsmarted and beat so many Jedi that
Right.
I think he would take Mando.
And
But
you would
Mando's also
assume-
made of
Beskar.
what's Beskar, which can stop lightsabers, right?
Oh, it can.
Can it?
Yeah, because think about that steel spear, the Beskar spear that Morgan was using to fight against Ahsoka. It was
No, I'm still going Grievous.
right. But if Grievous doesn't have lightsabers, what does he use?
His 5 arms. Just grab each one of his limbs and just. Whoosh.
Maybe.
What if, bro?
Depends. Is Grogu there helping him?
Yeah, that's.
Is Grogu there to save Dad?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm
This is
still going
tough.
Grievous.
It's
I'm
1v1.
still going Grievous on this
It's
one.
1v1. I'm going Mando.
You would. No, I'm just...
See, I love him. And that's
Yeah.
my problem is I'm like, I think it's obvious because I think Grievous is the right answer. But you had some good points. Like Blaster, in the first season of Mando, he had that long rifle. Like he could just shoot him from afar. He's a bounty hunter. You know what I mean? A bounty hunter is going to take a 1v1 differently. They're not going to straight up go against him. They might try to sneak out.
Grievous a force user? He's not force sensitive.
No, he's not. I don't
He's
think
just
so.
been trained in lightsaber combat by Count Dooku.
Seeing Count Dooku is one of the best to do it. Man, I'm gonna.
Someone wrote a question that says, "Why don't Jedis use the Force on Grievous?" And the answer is, it's because it's against the Jedi way. Such a stupid answer. Sorry. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking that he's not a Force user, I'm gonna have to go Mando.
See, and now I'm thinking I'm going Grievous. God, that's so tough, man.
I'm going Mando, 100%. I think Mando could take him. If it's like fist to fist, like I think Grievous has it.
Is this a fair assumption to say that it could be different? Like you could see a possibility where either one could win?
Oh, 100%.
Almost like it's like an even fight.
100%. Yeah, I think
like a lot of times it's obvious.
Yeah, out of all the ones you've given me so far, this is probably the first one that I'm like, ooh, it could really go both ways.
This is definitely the one that I thought the same. And it's because of the reasoning, because he's got Beskar armor. He has tools at his utilization. He's got a freaking flamethrower. Like, and that was a problem when Obi-Wan shot him in the stomach or whatever, his organs, that they got caught fire. Like, but Grievous also
Mando's
got
also
4 arms.
He's also a bounty hunter.
Right.
So he's going to be very creative in the ways that he hunts down people.
Right.
So yeah, I'm taking Mando.
But I've also seen Mando get smacked down by things worse than Grievous, I feel like. Like he fought like a rhino and lost. You know? Mudhorn, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Like
he did take down the giant space worm, didn't he?
He did. That giant like worm dragon thing or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah.
And a giant alligator thing, or was that somebody else? Can't remember. This is tough, man. All right, I gotta give a final answer. Think of it right now. You have 3, 2, 1. Final answer.
It's die.
That's not fun.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go Grievous.
I'm going Mando.
Okay. We all went for a full circle again there.
Let us know. Let us know in the comments. That was a tough one.
That was tough.
That was a tough one.
So, 10th episode.
Already?
It's flying by. 10 weeks of Star Wars. How do we still have Star Wars stuff to talk about? It's nuts.
I literally was telling my wife that the other day. I was like, you know what's crazy to me? That we go into these freaking Scruffy Nerf Herder podcasts, and half the time I'm like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. And then we talk for 45 minutes about something, and I'm like, huh. Who knew? There's so much to talk about. But we always say we could talk Star Wars for days, and clearly we can.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, each episode's close to an hour long. So we have 10 hours worth of us talking about Star Wars.
Nerds.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just a couple of nerds.
So in honor of the 10th episode, I have 10 Star Wars Tik Toks.
Oh, yes. Lay them on me. I love them.
Yeah, so this one is more of a redemption arc for me because I get a lot of crap of being a big fan of Order 66.
Okay.
And thinking that Anakin's Padawan killing scene is kind of funny. Apparently, I'm not the only one. Okay. And we'll leave it as it is.
From himself. Padme. Anakin has turned to the dark side.
Okay, so we all know Anakin turned to the dark side, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's something you probably didn't know. And it's probably more fucked up.
Hologram of him killing younglings.
All right, this part right here. Do you know why he covers his mouth? Probably not. Well, it's not because it's some major tragedy and he needs to convey all the sadness and disbelief. No. Ewan McGregor wouldn't stop smiling, laughing, snickering anytime he thought of, read, or said this line. And they had to reshoot it so many times, they just told him to cover his mouth. How fucked up is that? Just a little fun fact for you, matey. This beautiful man is fucked.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, I'm in good company here. So that makes me,
Yeah.
what I'm about to show you feel perfectly okay.
I will say that anytime I've seen that,
Oh, sorry, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say anytime I saw that scene where Obi-Wan does that, I always thought it was odd that he like covered his mouth because it just seemed kind of weird and it almost seemed like he was smiling. So that's funny that that ends up being
Yeah.
like that.
It's like killed younglings.
Way to go, Ewan.
So, the first Order 66 clip of the day.
Do you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore.
The crossover we never knew we needed.
Could you imagine Anakin trying to break into this house and there's just a bunch of micro machines and traps all over the house?
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's a 1v1 we need to talk about.
There
Kevin
we go.
McAllister versus
Versus
Anakin
Anakin
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
Who would win? Anakin.
You argue that for
100%.
days. I don't know, man.
100%.
That kid's crafty. That kid is crafty.
Yeah. Love that. Whoever put that together. This one is timely. I feel like this is kind of how I am with the Star Wars universe right now.
Okay. These are my ladies. This is Jill. This is my lady Amy. Little Susie. Shaniqua. Helga. Miss Kitty. Jeannie. I dream of Teresa. This is Teresa right here. This spot is for my special lady, Leah. I'm gonna say that one more time. Leah. Oh yeah.
What is that from?
I thought it was from Madagascar, but I don't think it's from Madagascar.
It's from Surf's Up.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not Madagascar. I think Surf's Up movie. Could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there are some beautiful ladies playing these Star Wars characters. Well done.
Are you a big Mr. Rogers fan?
Yeah, like It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you know about Mr. Roger?
Oh God.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Why do I want that? Why do I want that so bad?
Right next to your Yoda in the background.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
Mr.
put him
Roger,
right back
Roger.
here, right up here. Roger.
Yep.
Oh man.
Dating is pretty complicated these days. So,
bro, let me tell you, okay? We're both taken, okay?
Yep.
Could you imagine trying to date right now?
No.
Like, imagine, God forbid, some reason you're single again.
Mm-hmm.
Dating right now?
Sounds miserable.
Awful. Sounds terrible. I'm sorry for anybody that's going through dating right now. I feel for you. Just go watch Star
100%.
Wars.
Except for this next gentleman, because I think
Okay.
he found, as someone who's found his own, like his one.
Okay.
He's found the one.
Chosen one. Got it.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
So he messages her.
Your new empire.
She says back,
Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy! If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
You will try.
and now they're married.
And now they're happily. They got 2 kids, Luke and Leia.
Yeah. They're married, kids, got a mortgage. They're living the dream.
On Naboo. They live on Naboo way.
Yeah. So, mazel tov to them. Hopefully we'll get invited to their wedding. But
Yeah, I would love that. Could you imagine their wedding?
Yeah, I mean, but what better way if you're a girl that's into Star Wars than to like bag yourself a Star Wars guy? Like,
yeah. And that's like a good way to kind of weed them out too, you know? Only certain ones are
100%.
going to know that.
Yeah. Now, if there's any other ladies watching this, I'm sure there's not a lot, but if there are any other ladies who are trying to get a Star Wars gentleman, let me tell you, this next lady, she's figured it out. Here's
That's
the thing.
beautiful right there. Look at her name, @Riley.
Oh wow.
There's
I didn't
something.
even pick that up.
It's probably the same girl.
That would be
It's
funny.
probably-
Yeah, it's probably the same exact girl.
It's the same way you spell it too.
We've gone full circle.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I did not even pick that up. Somewhere out there, Riley's posting Tinder profiles to
You
get
wanna know
Star Wars
something
fans,
crazy?
and she goes, "Says,
You want to know something crazy? Okay, my daughter's name is Riley. We
Yeah.
almost spelled it that exact same way.
really?
Yeah.
Pick the middle
Almost.
name Rex?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, Riley Rex. That's I don't know.
It's good,
But yeah,
good
want to
tag.
get best way to a man's heart is through Lego Venators.
Lego Star Wars.
Venators.
Any
Venators.
Star Wars,
sorry.
anything. Buy him a lightsaber.
Ooh.
Buy him a Black Series Star Wars helmet. Good to go.
True. Buy him a $1.2 million C-3PO helmet.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Make him wear it on the wedding day.
Could have had Indiana Jones' whip.
Yeah. What else we got here? This one. Speaking of love, we got a trend of love going on here. We got a lady here at Galaxy's Edge just looking for love in all the wrong places. You know what I mean?
Okay. All the wrong place. That's not good.
I love you.
I don't care. Behavior may result in interrogation.
Kylo, I love you.
I've heard enough.
He's just not into you, girl.
You know what? Don't give up, okay? Don't give up. He needs somebody, okay? He needs somebody there to hold him at night when he's, raging. You might have some, domestic disturbances going on your ship, but I mean, if you're willing to hold it out, he's a good guy. He takes his lightsaber out like this and he goes.
Yeah, I just feel like you're setting your bar really low if that's the type of man you're going after.
Kylo.
Yeah. Skywalker's proved to be pretty whiny. And you mix
He's a
that
solo,
with a
though.
solo.
But
I
he's
mean,
a solo. Ooh.
does it balance it out?
No.
No, that's like pretty
No.
much the worst mix when you think about it.
What a
You
potent
get
mix,
the
yeah.
Anakin Skywalker, and then you get Han Solo. It's like, oh dear God,
Oh no.
Rey, you could do so much better. Yeah. Funny. But I got two more, I believe. Yeah. So this is second to last.
What the hell is that?
It's a baby we found in the trash.
Well, put it back.
That's it.
Yep. That would have solved 90% of the Star Wars issues.
Movie's over.
Yep. Death Star never gets built. Clone Wars never starts.
No Ahsoka.
No Ahsoka. We
Man.
wouldn't have had to watch episode 8 of Ahsoka. Well, let me rephrase that. I would have gladly watched it.
That's
You
true.
wouldn't have had to watch it.
I just didn't understand what's going on. But
Yeah.
moving on.
We'll get there. All right. Number 10, our final TikTok of the week.
Okay. Number 10.
I'm touching myself tonight.
So for the audio listeners at home, it says Anakin after executing all the Jedis during Order 66. I'm touching myself tonight.
Terrible.
Do you ever think we'll see Deadpool in a Star Wars universe?
Can you imagine?
He probably would do pretty well.
No, it's not happening. Never happened.
No. Yeah, you're right.
Question. I would be interested to see Ryan Reynolds though play somebody in the Star Wars universe. Can you imagine being like a smart ass Jedi or Sith?
Ooh, or he's Han Solo.
God, could you imagine? Ooh, dang.
Bro, but we can't. But we can't cast recognizable actors.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn my own takes.
Yeah, I mean Ryan Reynolds would do well. My only gripe is I feel like he gets, like many other actors, a lot of his roles have become the same. I put him in the same boat as The Rock right now, where it's like every Rock movie you can pretty much guarantee what's going to happen. He's going to raise his eyebrow during some point. Kevin Hart's the same way. Like every Kevin Hart movie at this point is the same, and I don't know.
Yeah. Every Star Wars movie, they stab people in the stomach. It's like, come on. There's other body parts.
Yeah. It won't happen in Acolyte though, because it's better. It's better.
Yeah.
If it's a Sith versus Jedi show, I mean, yeah, that's true, right? That's what they said. It's if you enjoyed stomach stabbing, you're gonna love this show.
I'm excited for the stuff to come. And my gosh, man, I want to know what's going to happen with Baylan and Shin. If you haven't seen the last episode of Ahsoka or watched Ahsoka, check it out. It's a great show. I had some gripes about the final episode, but if you've watched all of Rebels and Clone Wars, according to Bryant here, it all makes sense. But I mean, you were going down whole things, and we were talking about that in the Tano cast, and I was like, I didn't understand or see any of that coming. So it's good to know that if you had seen that, it makes a little bit more sense. So
yeah, and luckily, we'll get there. We're starting up Clone Cast again, and we'll be diving into the Clone Wars and talking about all that type of stuff, and then we'll get into Rebels and Andor's coming and Acolytes coming and all that fun stuff, and hopefully by the time Ahsoka season 2 or maybe the Mando movie comes out, we'll be all caught up and we'll be able to dive into the magical world.
What do you think they're going to call it? Do you think they just call it Mando movie?
So the way I've always heard the movie pitched is not like a Filoni-verse movie. It's always like the Mandalorian movie. So the Thrawn story arc is being compared to something called the Heir of the Empire, which is where the Emperor dies and who's the new heir, like who should be taking over the spot for the Emperor. And I could see it being called Star Wars Heir of the Empire. Like I could see that being the movie that comes out.
How much of this do you think they're going to have to tiptoe around not to mess with anything that Disney's already done with the second trilogy, third trilogy, final trilogy?
I don't know.
So at this point, they got to tiptoe around that, right? With, certain characters and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my whole concern is more on the sense of like, are they going to do more CGI Luke? Like, are we going to see more of Luke Skywalker as we get through? Because like they introduced him in Mando and then pretty much just disappeared, and the same with Boba, like disappeared. Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they did it between the arc of like the start of the First Order or whatever ends in this Mando movie where like it's the beginning of the First Order. That would make sense to me. Like okay, we're going into that, but I don't know.
I guess that would be kind of interesting to see because we didn't really see the beginnings of the First Order. It was just kind of already there. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's a good thing to point out.
Do you think Kylo or Ben was born during all the stuff that's going on right now?
I got to see a timeline, but I think the events that are happening right now, are like somewhere between like 18 and like 32 years before the events of Force Awakens. So I think possible, being born right now, or no, because we see Luke definitely older against Ben, but I guess how old was Ben at that time? He was still younger.
Technically, according to Wikipedia, Kylo was born around 5 ABY. I don't know what ABY stands for. Or after the Battle of Yavin. Okay. Yep.
I'm so disappointed I knew that one.
So that is the same time that Leia Organa discontinues her Jedi training. Okay. And Boba Fett rallies a Tusken Raider tribe to take down the Pike Syndicate. So yeah.
Kylo's did she discontinue her training because she was pregnant, or
I don't know.
Was she like, you know what? I don't want to do this training anymore because I want to I want to get a piece of Han.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Somebody in the comment section let us know, because that's not 100% sure.
1v1. Leia.
We know how that one turns out.
Tie. It's a tie.
Yeah. But yeah, man. 10 episodes. It's been fun. 10. Here's to another 10 more. And
absolutely.
Hopefully we're still enjoying talking about Star Wars on episode 20.
We will. We'll be right there.
Yeah.
But appreciate all your love and support. Keep listening, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Let us know what you think.
May the Force be with you.
Always.